Hey everybody, this is Russ from Retro Game Core. Today we're going to do a video for the ROG Ally. We're going to take a look at the AllyMate. This is an accessory system available for this device that is modeled after the DeckMate, and this is something that has already been available for the Steam Deck previously. But the cool thing is that all those accessories that they made for the DeckMate will also work with the ROG Ally when you use this little adapter that they have right here. And this thing is pretty cool because you can mount just a bunch of different things to it. So for example, here's the kickstand accessory. We can lock that in place, and then now all of a sudden we have a kickstand for our ROG Ally. So that's pretty cool. Now, in addition to that, they have like a universal mount puck thing, and that'll allow you to mount basically anything to it. So for example, a battery pack is a really good example, or like a USB-C hub. And in addition, they have other things like a wall mount or a VESA mount. So we're going to take a look at all of those things here in this video. And so without any further delay, let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, to start, let's have a look at their storefront. If we go into the shop section, you can see right here, there's a number of different accessories that you can buy. In fact, there's a bunch of different bundles that you can choose from. Now for the ROG Ally, the main one here is called the AllyMate Adapter Bundle. This is basically going to come with everything. And this is the one I bought right here, even though I didn't really need all of these accessories, I just wanted to test them all out. Now, if you have the means to make this yourself, they actually host the digital files online for free. And this applies to both the Steam Deck as well as the ROG Ally accessories. And if you'd rather not stick that universal mount directly to the device itself, you can just get the AllyMate grip right here. I'm not sure why this isn't available for sale on their store, but you can get the 3D printed files if you'd like. Additionally, if you want to print it yourself, they actually have a DIY kit. And this will include everything you need to set it up, including like the springs as well as the 3M tape. Either way, depending on which route you want to go, you've got a lot of options here within their website. They even have a breakdown of the advantages and disadvantages of either using the molded versions or the 3D printed versions yourself. Now personally, I haven't gotten into 3D printing yet. It's a little bit intimidating, and so because of that, I'm more than happy to just buy the whole shebang directly on their website. So let's take a look at what we'll find inside the box. To start, we have this little card right here with a QR code if you want to leave a review or if you want to look up the instructions. Other than that, you just have all the other accessories all bundled into one package. Let's take a look at everything individually. Number one, we have those universal mounts. There's actually two in this package here. And they come in two different colors, and honestly, they both look pretty good. The white ones are going to be nice if you want something that's a little bit discreet, but the black one looks pretty nice too if you just really want to have an accent to like the black back buttons or the shoulders and triggers. Either way, for me personally, I'm going to go with the white one just to keep it a little bit more subtle. In addition, we have two different universal mounting pucks. Now these are probably the most important accessories in the whole pack. Essentially, what you can do is stick these to anything and then you can latch it onto the back of your device. The other accessory that I really love is their kickstand. We'll go into more detail about this one here in a moment. Now there are two other accessories. I don't spend a lot of time with these, but you have a wall mount one right here. And so this would be great if you want to just kind of have the ROG Ally up and out of the way. And it does come with mounting screws as well as drywall adapters. And finally, we have a VESA mount. This will be great if you have an extra monitor arm for your setup. And so if you wanted to have this up and suspended, you could do that right here at your desk. And this one also comes with all the necessary hardware too. So let's go ahead and get started by installing that universal mount. First things first, it comes with an alcohol wipe. So I'm going to use that here on the back just to make sure my ROG Ally is nice and clean. After that, we're going to line things up, and this is actually pretty easy. What you want to do is use that diagonal color strip that we have on the back to go between the two corners. And then to center it, you want to eyeball it with that top screw that we have on the device. So given these two measurements, you should be able to get it perfectly center. And to attach it, it's super simple. All you have to do is just remove the plastic backing here on the sticker and then mount it. Now, one thing I did notice, it was pretty hard to get this plastic piece off of my mounting bracket. And I'm not sure what's going on here. I know it's a really strong adhesive, but then also I live in Hawaii. It's super humid here, and so it's probably sticking a little bit to the plastic. Either way, it did take me a minute or two to actually get it removed. After that, everything was super simple. I just lined it up against that line and then also with that top screw. And once you have it in place, you just want to press down for about 30 seconds. And you'll also want to let the adhesive cure. It's going to take maybe 10 minutes altogether. While you're waiting, you could put something really heavy on top of it just to really make sure it's in place. Now let's talk about mounting something to this universal adapter, and I think that the most practical use is going to be a battery pack. Now on Amazon, you can find a bunch of different options. And after looking through the available options, I think that this one right here is probably going to be your best bet for the ROG Ally. It has a 30,000 milliamp hour capacity and a 65 watt fast charger. Now, another unfortunate thing about living in Hawaii, and there are very few unfortunate things, is the fact that you can't get batteries shipped over here either through Amazon or like AliExpress. And so unfortunately, I can't get this one shipped over to me to test out. Instead, I'm at the whims of whatever's available locally, like in a Best Buy. And so here's the one that I've picked up locally. It's not the worst in the world. It's actually pretty good. It's got 25,000 milliamp hours, and it can fast charge all the way up to 87 watts. However, I've tried to use this one with my Steam Deck, and I did find that it is way too wide to be able to grip your fingers around it. And so unfortunately, this one's just not a good fit to show as an example here. And as you can imagine, for getting batteries, it's kind of slim pickings, but I did find this one right here, which is about the same dimensions as the basiest one. Now, this is one I do not recommend for the ROG Ally. Even though it is 20,000 milliamp hours, it's only a 20 watt PD charge. And so it's not going to charge the device while you're actually using it. However, the dimensions are perfect. It's about 5 3/4 inches across. And if we look at the basiest one, this one is 14.5 centimeters, so a little bit less than 6 inches. So they're going to be just about the exact same size. And if we line this up with the ROG Ally, it does give us just enough room. And so we're going to mount this one right here just as an example of what it would be like if you were to use the real one. First thing we want to do is line everything up. So we're going to put the universal puck inside. And when you're attaching this, you want to make sure that the springs are facing down. Anyway, just go ahead and mount that right here, and then you can put the battery on just to make sure that everything's going to fit okay. Once you're happy with how it looks, we're going to wipe clean the back of the battery, and then we'll remove that plastic part and then attach it firmly on. And again, the adhesive here is really strong, so make sure that you have it lined up well before you press it down. Anyway, once you have it firmly in place, I would recommend removing it from the adapter, flipping it over, and then pressing down with your fingers all along the adhesive part. Same thing here, I would spend about 30 seconds making sure everything's nice and tight, and then give it some time to cure. You can also put something heavy on top just to hold it into place. Anyway, once we're done with that, let's go ahead and mount it directly to the ROG Ally and see what the experience is going to be like. And first thing, as you see here, yes, this is stuck on really well. Even though the battery is pretty heavy, it feels really secure. I don't think it's going to fall off at all. Now to attach it, you're going to want to have a short USB-C cable. And I'm just using a standard cable right here, but they make some that have 90-degree angles that might be a little bit more comfortable. Either way, for my hands and fingers, there is enough clearance right here for the cable. And as you can see, yes, it is charging the device, but it's only at 20 watts, so it's not a fast charge. It's going to take a while to basically charge this. And if I try to turn on the device, it's not going to charge it at all. So you do want to get a battery pack that has a higher wattage output. I would recommend 65 watts. Anyway, yes, I think this is a pretty good mitigation if you want to have longer battery life on the ROG Ally without having to be attached to an outlet. But of course, bear in mind, it is going to add some weight. So for example, it's about 1,100 kilograms with the battery pack attached, which is going to be about 2.5 pounds altogether. As a comparison, without the battery pack attached, it's going to be about 1 pound and 6 ounces, or about 600 grams. So effectively, this will be pretty close to doubling the weight of your ROG Ally, but it'll also triple your battery output. Anyway, now that we have the universal mount attached, let's try out the other accessory I'm really excited about, which is the kickstand. And this is the exact same kickstand they had with the Steam Deck, so I know what I'm getting into right here. And I've tried out a couple other kickstand options, you know, those that are attached to cases, things like that, and this by far is my favorite among them. And there's two things I really like about this kickstand. Number one, we have a super wide range of actual movement. And so really what this means is you have a wide option of choices when it comes to the angle itself. And I found that many of these angles are really comfortable with this device. For example, if you want to prop it up on a table and then lean it all the way back, that's a pretty nice experience. But in addition, if you wanted to do something like tabletop gaming and have it a little bit more upright, that's going to work well too. The other thing I really like about this kickstand is that it is super sturdy. And so yes, it does have a wide range of motion, but it takes quite a bit of force to actually get it into place. And this is great because that means it's never going to change the angle while you're playing it. It's going to stay super sturdy. And again, I think that's another big advantage of this kickstand. Not only does it have that wide angle, but it's really secure in place as well. Okay, and in wrapping things up here, the only major note that I wanted to make is that once you have the universal adapter installed, it's actually really unobtrusive. It'll sit here right on the back, it doesn't really impede any airflow, and it doesn't increase the thickness of the device really at all. And so with all of the cases and bags that I have for this device, it's essentially a non-issue. It doesn't make it any thicker because the grips themselves are a little bit thicker than the mount anyway. And for me, this is the best of both worlds. Not only do I add functionality to the ROG Ally, but I'm not actually taking away from its portability either. So in the end, yes, I do definitely recommend the AllyMate as an accessory system if you are interested in something like this. In particular, if you want to have longer battery life while not being tethered to a wall adapter, or if you don't want to have something dangling from the device itself, this might be a great option. And additionally, if you want to try out a kickstand, I think that this is a really good option here too. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you tried out the DeckMate on your Steam Deck and do you like it? And do you think it's a good fit here with the AllyMate too? And I'm going to leave some non-affiliate links down below in case you want to check it out yourself. As always, thank you for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe if you found this helpful. And we will see you next time. Happy gaming.